The new generation sees cello as not just a symphonic instruments. Like I was a cello geek. I was a little Ninja Turtle with the cello on my back. I was a geek. Now cello's pop culture. It's two cellos. It's everywhere. It's in rock music. It's everywhere. And I definitely see it in my vision as it fits in very well with rock groups, with different genres of music, from hip hop, jazz, metal, pop music. I think electric bowed instruments is going the next level, and I still don't.
Oh, there's no question about it.
And I see it, the cello, particularly cello, as getting more expanded into different genres of music. And you're the gold standard. You're the benchmark of what an instrument like this should sound like.
You know, electric bowed instruments are still not accepted by many people.
No.
I remember I was telling you earlier about the DePonte String Quartet local here in my rural area in Maine. I happen to be a classical music fan myself. So I was there at one of these concerts, and the sad thing is they're all old people at these concerts. The young people do not listen to classical music very much, from what I've seen, and the audience is aging, and there's all kinds of challenges that classical musicians face around the viability of careers and so on in the field. And that's where these electric instruments can be a godsend, because now you can find other kinds of employment. You know, you can play more popular gigs and so on with the electric instrument. But when I started out, when I was first making violins, for example, all excited about violins. You've heard of Strings magazine?
Yeah.
So I put 2 half-page ads for the new NS violin. I was all excited about it. Beautiful picture, so on. Can you guess how many people responded to that ad? It's a very round number.
I'm not gonna say that, but
Try 0.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? Nobody is interested in
What
this
year
stuff.
was that? What year was that particularly? Because I remember at one time I've seen an NS ad in a magazine, in a strings magazine, and it's when I had my first the zebra wood version. I'm like, hey, look, there was an older. I don't know what year it was, but it was an older version. But it was a full page ad.
Just suffice to say that the interest in electric bowed instruments is growing. And thank God, because when I started out, the interest was very, very low. Also, our instruments are more radical. You know, headless violin. I mean, people are going, oh my God, this guy's out of his mind. But times have changed enormously since then. Back in those days, I can remember a couple of times, and I'm not a salesperson, so I don't spend time on the road, you know, promoting what I do and so on. I work with a team where we have folks who do that. But still, I'm walking around some new town I'm visiting or something. I come across a violin shop. I'd go in and see what's going on, you know, and I would say, you guys have any electric violins here? And they'd look at me like, no, what are you talking about? And they basically, we're just completely disinterested. If I go into a violin shop today and I say, you know, what do you think about electric instruments? Or indicate to them that I have some expertise in the field, they're all over it. Really, you know, maybe I don't have any in my shop now, but I really need to get some in. What do you recommend? And it's like night and day from 20 years ago and today. I was starting to tell you this story of going to this DePonte concert.
Yeah.
And with all these old people there, you know, this is a string quartet. They're playing Beethoven, Haydn, and so on. And so at intermission, I happened to be sitting next to this charming elderly woman, and she was a little chatty, and we got talking. And I said, "Oh yeah, no, I make violins." I know the guys up there very, very well, the DePonte Quartet members, and they have a complete set of electric instruments as well, but
yours?
Which they play rarely. But
hopefully yours.
Yes, definitely. And so I said, oh yeah, I make violins. And I said, yeah, I make electric violins. And she was so animated and excited that I make violins. But as soon as she heard it was electric, her whole expression just fell. She was so bummed out, you know, that they would be electric. And that's still very much part of the real world. People have that attitude, but it's changing, and for good reason. Electric instruments are getting better and better, and the need for them is growing, and musicians are responding. So I got lucky. I mean, I didn't think any of that through. It's not like I looked and said, electric string instruments are going to get big over time, going to grow. It was just that I was fascinated with the design opportunity to make really high quality electric instruments, and I got lucky because it turned out to be a field that was really growing.